Women wrestlers aren't getting paid? Why do you do a job?
Here's your win.
You do any job,
and fail
is to fucking get paid!
of the week.
Deuce, your win of the week.
I'm going with the entirety of. I'm going with NXT Takeover too. I mean, that was the highlight of the week for me. I mean, they to me, it was on. I mean, it edged out anything that happened on TNA this week, even though the Havoc spot where she pretty much laid waste to the security team. I thought that was pretty cool, and then I saw the NXT event, and I'm like, wow, that's stuff that I would expect from TNA, and it seemed like they kind of turned the volume up on it. So yeah, the NXT thing, definitely.
Nick?
My win would have to be Seth Rollins imitating Roman Reigns this week on Raw, where he explained why Roman Reigns' knuckles are actually bloody. It's because he's an ape and he walks on his knuckles, and he proceeded to get down and show him how Roman walks. That was a pretty great moment. And I also have to applaud the WWE on resisting the temptation to have Roman standing right behind him as Seth stood back up.
I was
think
waiting
that was,
for that too.
Yeah, so was I, and I just have to hand it to WWE for resisting the low-hanging fruit there.
My win of the week has to be the debut of Hideo Itami. Like I said, he grabs a chair, slides into the ring. You think he's going to be brandishing it like a weapon, and he's just sits down, and it's like, come on, motherfuckers, let's do this. That was just awesome, through and through. From the live chat, win of the week, NXT, TNA, Ring of Honor. Blue says it's easily NXT. So that brings us to our fails. Nick, what's your fail of the week?
I honestly don't really have a specific fail. Nothing this week stood out to me, really. There were parts of Raw that I didn't exactly appreciate, but I didn't really pick those out as them being bad. It's just maybe uninspired. I guess that could be my fail, is just Raw for the longest time, and we've talked about it ad infinitum, ad nauseum, that Raw just hasn't been living up to what we think it should be at. So, creative direction on Raw?
Okay. Deuce?
The past 4 weeks of Raw have been completely dreadful, and I can't help but notice, immediately after the last pay-per-view, wait a minute, what was the last pay-per-view? I forget. There's so many of them.
SummerSlam?
Was it SummerSlam?
Yeah.
Was it? Immediately after SummerSlam, Raw just took a nosedive the night after, and it hasn't picked up. And my fail was going to be the Divas, particularly Naomi and Cameron, just because they were met with silence from entrance to exit, and it's like AJ and Paige, about the only thing they have going on. Their backs must be broken from having to carry the Divas division. But I'm gonna say that the entirety of Raw, just I don't know where they're going with this. I don't know. I mean, I feel like ever since the network has become a thing, the quality curve has just gone downhill. Because they're only charging a small amount for this, and I think they're going to lose a lot of money on it because the pay-per-views, you know, they really can't invest a lot in those pay-per-views like they used to because of how little people are paying for them now. And that kind of the pay-per-views for me are like the peak of the curve, and Raw is in there somewhere, but it's kind of flattening out. And Raw is a prime example of what's been happening, and I don't understand why the sudden drop off. It's like it was okay before SummerSlam. It was okay, it was bearable, but the Monday after SummerSlam was just, it was over, and I don't understand what happened.
Gotcha.
And this week was no exception. I mean, if you look at the official WWE Facebook page, they have a poll every week. Did you enjoy Raw? And for the past 2 weeks running, at least 2/3 of the viewers said they didn't like it.
Interesting. From the live chat, fails are Raw, and Impact commentary. And it's got so bad that Love and Hip Hop Hollywood have got more action than Raw. Okie dokie, Robert. My fail of the week actually comes from something I downloaded today. That would be Stone Cold Steve Austin's recent podcast with Kevin Nash. On the Clean feed, they spent the entire time talking about toilet paper and how it feels against your bum and using baby wipes instead, and you got to get the 32 pack, and apparently Kevin Nash goes through like one of those big like 32 packs in a week.